Why, hello.
Hey there. So, life's a little different now. and they're not going to talk now? You were just talking.
Yep.
You were just making all kinds of noises.
Well,
Huh?
you're asking for it. She's about to cry.
I know. We're
Guess I
getting
just
Tico.
outed her.
Yeah. So we had a girl, Julia.
Julia Katerina.
Our little Julia. She's very, very beautiful. And I honestly am a little worried because she's been so easy. And I know it's baby number 5, but I don't know. She's just a little too easy.
She'll wait till you're done with paternity.
Probably. That's exactly right. She's going to wait 2 weeks and then...
and then be crazy.
She'll be like, "Hi, Mom. I'm here for real." I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So, longtime listeners will maybe guess why she's named Julia. If you don't know, then you can listen to, I believe, our first year of the podcast.
Wow, it's
Kind of
been that
later
long?
in the year.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's been that long.
Okay. Yeah.
So learn all about why we would pick the name Julia.
Yeah. She's a beautiful little baby.
Yep.
And we're so pleased to have her.
Yes.
It was a long journey.
It was. She was born Thursday evening.
3/23/23.
Yeah. So we didn't realize that's like a really epic birthday, and it's a palindrome apparently.
And we didn't plan it either. It wasn't like we said, "Oh, well, we have to have a baby on a palindrome." I mean, obviously.
Yeah. Although, this is probably not a fair thing to say, but we had so many people having babies that day compared to the next day.
Yes, that's
that
true.
It does make you suspicious.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did go in for induction, so, but it wasn't because I was thinking about the date. I was thinking about the doctor I wanted to have.
That's true.
Yeah.
And she was a wonderful doctor.
She was. But, last week we talked about kind of all the preparations.
Preparations, yes.
That, I'd been going through and you'd been going through, and all the people that we know at church, and, all the prayers up for this little one and her entry into this world. And it occurred to me yesterday when we were home, because it was a long labor. It was a lot longer than I thought it would be.
Yep.
Wasn't easy.
Yeah.
But I think, what all those prayers actually delivered was a really amazing nurse who was really on it with us. We did everything.
Yes.
And because of her assistance, and of course my amazing assistant here, you're the most amazing, we were able to, for the first time, have a baby without an epidural.
Yes.
And that was hard, but the recovery in the
hard,
hospital...
but quicker, I think.
Was much better.
I kind of wonder, if you had an epidural, would it have been a longer labor? Would it have taken longer?
It wouldn't have. I know this about myself now.
Okay, it would have been shorter.
It would have been shorter, but
the
recovery would have been harder.
Yeah, you've been bouncing back so much better.
I mean, in the
compared
hospital,
to the epidural.
Was really amazing how much different that was.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, to me it's night and day.
Yeah.
You can really tell the difference.
And I'm not a stoic person
at all. You're not.
So it was not easy. But yeah, my 5th baby delivery, all the others I had an epidural, and this is my first one without an epidural, so I do feel like a badass.
Yes. Badass was the noun adjective? Adjective. Would be an adjective.
I'm not certain.
Maybe a verb. Maybe. Because it was in action.
You're right. I think it's an adjective.
It was in action.
It was, I did feel amazing, even though I'm doing what women for thousands of years have done. And I had more assistance than women for thousands of years have had as far as tools at your disposal.
But you did, you learned of the Ring of Fire. And
oh my gosh.
Of which, if you don't know what the Ring of Fire is, either A, ask your wife, B, ask your mother, or C, just Google it. I don't know if you want to know it, but that's how you can find out.
You did tell me afterward you've never seen that far down my throat before.
Yeah. But hey, if that's what it took.
I was quite embarrassed after the fact.
Why?
How much I screamed. I mean, I didn't scream until the very, very end. I really did good breathing
Yeah.
compared to the other
well,
babies.
that's how I knew that the woman next door had her baby.
I didn't hear her.
Oh, I did. You were in the zone in, labor, so you had
Yeah.
other things on your mind.
Animal panic.
But
where I'm getting Yeah.
So we were able to see the gal next to us, and we could see her labor sign was in
Her
transition.
contractions.
Yeah, her
Her
contractions
Toco
were in
reading.
transition. Yeah. So I knew when I heard it, I was like, oh, that's the baby. And then it was silent, and then they have the little chime they do to let everybody know that a baby's been born on the floor.
Yeah, and that's how we knew how many babies were born.
Yeah.
Because, like,
There were a few.
well, it chimed 4 times at 2 a.m. Like, right after they started labor with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 4 babies? And then I found out that sometimes what they do is, like, they let the siblings push the button or whatever. So I guess someone had their own other children in the room, which, again,
Either that or
not my jam.
they had twins or triplets.
No, well, yeah, I guess they could have had twins. I think for triplets, they wouldn't have been at our hospital.
No, I thought she said, one of our nurses said when it's above triplets, they couldn't do.
Oh, okay.
Because they didn't have, like, they have an NICU that can handle up to that.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is new because they didn't have a NICU last time. But yeah,
Yeah.
so there was 4 chimes at 2 a.m. and I'm like, what? And then there was a chime right before you woke up at like 7. Then there was one mid-morning. Then there was one in the afternoon. And that was the last one I remember hearing. But you heard the chime, I guess, of the gal next door.
I did.
To me.
You were getting into your transitional labor
Yeah.
at that point. There was nothing else that you could focus on.
Nope. I was like, why did I do this to myself? Why?
Yeah. But our nurse was amazing.
She was amazing.
She did a wonderful, wonderful job. This is the first time that you were able to actually kind of get up, move around, try some different techniques.
I'd never had
use the
agency
shower.
before
Yeah.
in this process,
Right?
and it's probably because I just would go in and be like, I haven't made up my mind about epidural. Give me an epidural.
Yeah, after like the first hour, you're like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Done.
I just wasn't as... I was really, really prepared to not have an epidural this time, and it was enough that, like, I got through. And then when we asked about, like, what tools are there at our avail, she really helped us with all the different stuff. So, yeah, getting up out of bed, doing the birthing ball, using a peanut contraption that she kept, like, helping me with positions, doing the shower, doing the bath, doing the essential oils,
Yep.
doing the massager, counter pressure.
Yes.
And then I got little mini doses of fentanyl.
Yeah.
First one was really helpful because I did relax a little. Second one was like basically when transition started, and there was like...
But it was kind of an odd thing because, I mean, we hear so much about fentanyl and the bad fentanyl that's out there that's honestly counterfeit and not good stuff that's killing people. And so they're like, oh, we can give you fentanyl. I'm like, you mean fentanyl? What kind of fentanyl are you talking about
that
here?
Gets police officers high when it breezes out of a trunk.
Yeah, right? It almost kills them sometimes.
Oh, I could see it. I took the tiniest, and she basically was like, I'm going to give you half of a dose of what we would give.
Yes.
And oh my goodness. It was like that. I wasn't even feeling the contractions in the midway, which was nice. I didn't take a nap, but I relaxed, which was nice.
Yeah.
So I wasn't tensing. But yeah, that's why people are addicted to fentanyl.
Well, it's a neural relaxant, which is why it kills people because
like
when
an
they overdose,
opioid, right?
It's more than an opioid. It's a
synthetic opioid.
It's basically like a nerve toxin.
Oh.
Is what it is. It numbs your nerves. Thus, why it works great for a pregnancy because then your body can just
I mean, I relaxed,
open and
which
relax
was good.
and do what it needs to do, but it's still kind of a wild thing. So yeah, when they give you a half dose. And it hits you.
She's like, you want more? And I'm like, no.
Nope, that was good.
That was fine.
Yeah.
I did ask for a full dose when I was basically in transition. But and I think it was good in that, like, at that point, she was just like, we're going to position you with the peanut. And she did some stuff that, like, I went through the last 3 centimeters, like, pretty darn fast, like 10 minutes.
Well.
And I could feel like I couldn't resist them anymore. Like, everything just kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, without being graphic.
Well, I think there's something to be said, though, because if there is anybody who is out there who's expecting, maybe it's your first kid, One thing to not judge yourself upon might be that when they say you're 3 centimeters, it's okay. It's not 1 to 10 means that's start to finish. Honestly, that's only half the battle. The effacement of the inside of like where the baby comes out, that's the huge battle. Whether or not you open at the bottom where the baby comes out, that's not really telling much because you went from 3 to 10 in about 30 minutes.
It wasn't quite that dramatic.
It
but
was,
yeah,
pretty darn
it was
dramatic like that. And
progress.
you were not happy because they kept
upset.
telling you, well, you're still at 4. And while you're still at 4, the doctor's like, I'm just going to roll this operation cart over here. We're just going to put this baby stuff over here. We're just going to get these people queued up and ready to go. Yeah, all the time you're stuck at 4. And you're like, I'm still at 4. I'm still at 4. And they're like, yeah, you're still 4, but you're 90% effaced. We're just I'm going to put these gloves on now. I'm like, yeah. So I'm looking at the nurse. She's looking at me. Then I look over the doctor and I'm like, We're all shaking heads because we know what's happening. We know what's about to come.
And I'm like, baby's never coming
Baby's
out of
never
me.
coming.
Never coming out
Yeah,
of me.
and then boom, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, it was amazing. I can't believe it still, and
I know.
it's all worth it.
I know.
And I'm just having a hard time putting this baby down.
I know, it's good. It's a good thing. She's been wonderful, and it's been wonderful to have a little one in the house and live in the utter chaos of things. Yeah.
We still have chickens.
We still have chickens,
here.
which
They're
have
all
doubled in size.
Yeah, they grew so much in 2 days while we were at the hospital.
Yep. I've officially unclogged the drain for the 3rd time.
Oh,
Yeah. Got a new tool because we called Tipping Hat. They didn't answer. Went to voicemail. Called Squeaks, another company we've used, which we very much would recommend if you're in the area.
Great.
They're great. It went to voicemail. And we know the folks who own that company. So you were,
I was about to text
you were gonna hit
someone.
that button
I
to
know.
like hit the higher power. I'm like, no.
You were
I
being
could do this
stubborn.
myself. I have this thing called pride issues.
So you got a new tool.
I looked it up, and so the cost was at least $100 to get a drain clogged one time, unclogged. It's free to clog your drain, just in case you're ever wondering.
Just use chicken bedding or put a paper towel down the toilet like our children have done.
Yeah. Hopefully it was down the toilet, and that's how it got down there. Otherwise, it's a mystery, but leave it to them. So I got on Harbor Freight, Home Depot, any site I could find, trying to figure out, okay, is there something more home improvement Tim Allen range here that I could do and afford? And I didn't want to just go rent one of the big ones because honestly, that's just as expensive as
Getting a
calling
plumber.
someone. Yeah. I mean, it's like $70 to get the tool, and then to get a plumber out, it's like $100. So this tool that I got was like a handheld electric. I would never buy a battery powered because that's just a recipe for disaster. And the battery powered one was like $70 without a battery. The batteries sell for $40. I'm like, wait a second. This is false advertisement here. So I got the plug-in kind.
Well, I have to say, where would you need a battery-powered drain mechanism? Like, in what situation? In an outhouse in the mountains? Like, where there's no electricity?
You shouldn't need one in an outhouse.
No, you shouldn't.
Just saying.
So
You got
just
the
thinking,
one-holer, eh? It's pretty proficient.
Like, usually there's going to be an electric outlet pretty darn close to any plumbing in a house.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, maybe out in the
mystery.
front yard, but then you wouldn't be using
Extension
that
cord.
kind of a snake anyways because
Yeah, I
it's
know.
too small. But I got it. It has 25 feet. I used every bit of 25 feet, and we have a slow draining kitchen now instead of a clogged kitchen. So I'm sure I'll have to drain it again one more time.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll try some other things in it. I don't know. I was telling our brother-in-law as we were chatting, as men do around a open sewage hole, that I was wondering if the starter somehow had like grown and we had like the thing in our sewer and it's been expanding slowly and it's going to come and get us.
Starter down there too.
But it shouldn't grow because even though it's a bacteria, there are other bacteria that are competing that are going to kill it off. But every time I hit it, there's like this gray stuff in it. So I don't know.
Maybe. Sorry.
Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah, so if you really want revenge on your DIY husband, pine bedding and sourdough starter. Apparently. Oh, and throw in a twist tie for good measure, because you found that the first time you got
that unclogged it the first time.
Yeah. I didn't do that one.
Or was that the
At
second
least not
time?
on purpose.
I think that was the second time that it unclogged and I got a twist tie out. I was like, great, this somehow magically solved the problem because it started draining immediately. No, that wasn't
just
it.
pushed it further down.
Yeah, I don't know. So we went 15. Now we're at 25. We'll see. How deep can we go? Because I should be hitting the main line at some point.
Our front yard is not very big.
No, I don't know. But
anyway, it's been a crazy few days.
Yeah.
Slightly sleep deprived.
Yep.
Which is normal.
Yep. Watch some Top Gun with Terrence.
Yeah. I want to watch the Maverick Top Gun tonight with the two older kids.
Yeah. That's totally fine. I fast forwarded through the romantic scenes. Although Terrence did pass out at the last smoochy scene when they like ride off together on his Kawasaki Ninja, which is like the coolest Kawasaki Ninja ever. But by that point, he's like, there's just too much of this romance stuff, and he fell asleep. I watched the rest of the movie because it's epic. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's some amazing things that they do with the cinematography because in reality, they weren't flying planes. Not like in Maverick. Maverick's a whole different ballgame, but they didn't have the like insurance policies to let actors actually fly those things.
Basically, I'm sure it was before Tom Cruise just started signing away his life for like any movie stunt that he had to perform. It
was also when, like America was America when it comes to our Navy and other things, so I don't imagine that our Navy was saying, oh yeah, sure, we'll let 25-year-old Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer just hop up in these planes. It'll be totally fine. We'll sign waivers for these $14 million piece planes, which I imagine now is like $200 million in inflation of costs.
Probably.
But it was still very entertaining. So Maverick tonight.
Yep. Yeah, I'm more interested in watching that. I obviously left you guys to go to bed.
It was okay.
I don't need to watch Top Gun again in my life. One time is enough.
I know. I'm still curious to try to connect the dots a little bit more. We'll see. Because the one girl does come back in the end of the movie, which I'd forgotten. The strategist that he falls in love with, apparently Meg Ryan says that he's in love with, but, then he lets her go, but then she comes back. And, yeah, it's cheesy 80s for sure. So, yeah. So we're going to watch a few movies.
Yeah. Well.
And your restless legs have been okay.
Yeah, it's been okay. It's been manageable.
Yeah.
A couple bouts, but otherwise much improved. So
yeah.
I can cat stretch again. I don't have a giant pregnant belly, just a 6-month belly.
Yeah, that's
that
okay.
Slightly goes away.
That's okay. It's been good.
Well, I'm not sure we ever did even any
that's
transition
okay.
to small talk or
that's
big
okay.
talk.
We have a baby, and that's all anybody needs to know.
Praise be God
for this one.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd feel this excited about having a baby.
Yeah,
I'm like so excited.
Yep, we haven't even had like too much one-on-one time in the evening yet. It's been, yeah. I'm just waiting. I know, little one. You're gonna be. Something's gonna happen. You're a girl, so therefore you're another one that's gonna wrap me around your finger. I'm just waiting. I know it's gonna happen. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, we did unbottle one bottle of mead.
We did.
Not the super bottle from 5 years ago now.
No.
We only have like a couple bottles of that left. We got unbottled the second.
This is like hive number 3. This is hive number 2.
This was bought from the store, raw honey, because remember the catastrophe of Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yeah, which reminds me, we almost had that catastrophe. We almost had that catastrophe the other night. Dog, if you keep booping me, I'm going to boot you like Baxter off the window. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You don't know what I'm saying, but everyone else knows it's a reference from the Anchorman.
You're right, didn't know, but...
Well, I guess we'll have to watch the Anchorman.
I guess so.
We have it on DVD.
I'd be up for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were up for comedies.
Probably not.
Usually.
It's awkward.
Yep.
It's Will Ferrell.
It's more my jam.
It's painful, but you'll like it, and that's what we'll do.
Yeah. Okay, so something about catastrophe.
Oh
hearkening to
yeah.
maid.
Rosie was pulling some. I don't even know what it was. It was some fabric, because fabric always seems to be entrenched in catastrophe and food. But luckily that one was salvaged. Like, dinner was almost destroyed by that. And then as we were picking up, she runs back down the stairs. I don't know that she's running behind me. I rotate, turn, and literally splat her in the face with the 5 cheese ziti.
That my mom and dad had ordered
they
for
got
us
us
from Olive Garden.
Yep, to help out, so we'd have dinner. It was wonderful.
We had eaten it,
Yeah.
except there was a little bit left. That
It was a little.
Nice.
It would have been a good lunch, but no.
On the floor.
It was on the floor, and the dog had to finally do her job. After I picked up all the bits, she just got the cheesy,
the sauce.
tomatoey stuff, and there's no stains on the carpet. Praise God.
Yeah, I know. That was lucky.
Yeah.
It's always my Rosalina, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't mean to say it, but when it did happen, I went, "Oh, come on!" I just, she's gonna be scarred. She's gonna go to a counselor. Every time she hears that, she's gonna feel awful about, like, she screwed something up in her life. I'm sure that's what's gonna happen.
Poor Rosalina is like the solid middle child in this
She
school.
is. She is.
Our poor little Rosie, and she's so beautiful and precious, but just somehow it's always Rosalina with the messiness.
It's okay. She's probably going to be like an artist, and she'll have like a loft somewhere in a big city in a place we could never afford.
I don't know. I'm still like rolling the dice on nun, because that was one of the reasons she picked St. Clair for her name.
True.
Was that she's a nun.
So maybe she'll be a poor Claire, and then she won't have to worry about shoes or utensils.
Can you imagine what a great beggar she would be?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, looking at this baby, she just reminds me so much of Rosalina. And she was an ounce smaller than Rosalina, technically. So she was 8 pounds, 1 ounce. She was 20.25 inches long.
Yeah.
So yeah, she did break the 8-pound threshold, which I was expecting.
Yeah. Although I do have to say, she looks to me a little bit more like Christina.
Oh, okay.
Because Rosie, I'm sorry, but Rosie is unique. Rosie is Rosie. I'm just going to say, as her dad.
But Christina can't be Christina?
Well, this one looks like Christina. I'm not saying she is Christina
was
because she
bigger.
hasn't done the mini-me. If she does the mini-me, then I'm worried, because that really means the other shoe is going to fall, and
that's not
I'm
good.
not going to get sleep for like 3 months.
I mean...
At least my core is in better shape now,
Yeah.
I'll be able to stand and walk around and not have backaches.
Well, that's where, so we're committed to doing the Easter Vigil. I have 5 catechumens,
Yes.
So we're going to be there.
And I haven't committed to MC.
I know. I told them that you can't commit until...
I committed Terrence to being a server.
I had already committed him
Yeah.
when we were doing the planning meeting.
Well, I committed
him
to the
server.
MCs, so they know.
Oh, okay, cool.
I know you've been talking to other people.
I've been
other
talking to
circles.
the higher level people.
That's right.
I
I'm
was
just
at that planning meeting.
just at the boots in the ground in that level.
So yeah, they were asking whether or not you could be an MC at the Easter Vigil, because they do want more help on the altar. And I said, it just depends if this is another Christina or not. Because if it's another Christina, then no, he will be in the pew wrangling a Christina.
Only if you want
Julia.
me to be wearing a baby on the
I know.
in the sanctuary.
So I was like, Will.
That's the sound of older siblings playing with their younger sibling, where younger sibling always gets hurt.
Yeah. Always. So we might be almost at the wrap-up stage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
we'll know in the next week or so if, Julia's going to come out of this.
Yes.
This blissful, quiet, sleepy baby phase into a tyrant baby.
We shall see.
We will see. So far,
Yeah.
so good. She's
Yep.
been very easy so far.
Yes.
Just a beautiful sleeper.
Yeah. She's been wonderful.
Just love kissing her.
Yep. And just waiting, because she's eating well.
Yeah.
Waiting for the blow-ups to start.
Yeah.
They're going to happen. We'll see. And with that beautiful, lovely image, I want to thank all of you for your prayers. They're so wonderfully given with this baby, and all of the fruits that have come that we can have this child and that we can tell you guys about it has been just amazing. I never would have expected this.
No, and I mean, kind of when we took this on, like it was mostly at your request, I'd have to say. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm giving Dale a baby. Like,
I thought you were talking about the podcast. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this was your idea. But
it was
baby,
a two-person idea,
yes.
But maybe I instigated a little, but not baby.
Touche.
You, I don't know. You kind of were interested in having another, and
yes,
I think I'd finally healed enough emotionally from Jonathan that you could ask me, and then, it's funny though, because I just looking at her, I didn't realize how much I wanted a baby.
I know. Happy baby, mommy. Happy baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a long wait. It wasn't easy, but here we are.
No.
And it all just kind of fades
That's
away.
right. And then, if for some crazy reason our children actually listen to these, whatever, then this one will have a full documentary of many things in life and things before her. So that'll be interesting.
It will be.
Hopefully for them. We'll see.
Yeah.
And with that, drop us a line, catholichitch@gmail.com.
May the Lord guide us and direct our journey.
Amen. That button. You normally do this.
I do. My hand's full right now.
See you, world.